talk about what you each think you should share and what you each want to have shared. So figure that out. And also realize you might find once you're deployed that you were wrong about how well that works, so be prepared to be flexible.
Before they deploy, sit down and talk about, realistically, this is what we're going to talk to each other about.
Women think about communication in such a different way than guys do. And so I think it's amazingly important to ask her what she wants to know, especially if it's the first time.
And then also decide, okay, if we agree that I'm going to tell you everything that Billy struggled with today, or that Susie had come up, and that works for both of us, for me as the father to try to share that with you as the mother who's in country deployed. Also talk about this next step. What do you want to have happen then at that moment? Do you want, as the mother that's deployed, to sort of tell the father what to do? Probably not the best model. Probably the best model to shoot for is mom emotionally supporting the father, dealing with that, and mom being part of the family, hearing about that. But I'd be careful about the next step in terms of the advice. Just don't jump right into, I'm the primary parent and you're the surrogate back there with the kids, so let me tell you what you should do to handle this, and then we'll get back and see how you did.
After you've done this a couple of times, everybody gets in a routine, and you begin to understand better what your spouse wants to know about. But the first time you deploy, it will make it much easier if you talk about those issues prior to the deployment than finding out 2/3 the way through the deployment that your wife is mad at you because you haven't been communicating the way she wanted you to communicate. And that's happened.
Almost every day she'd try to call me. For the first 5 or 6 months, it was every day we'd try to set up an appointment over Skype to have video conference, talk on the phone twice a day. And then it got to a point where we were fighting about little things, and that was a big stress.
The little things, don't worry about them. They're going to happen. And all it's going to do is stress the spouse that's home out. It's going to stress the soldier that's deployed out. And it's going to cause conflict. Firsthand, I'm speaking from experience. I would tell her this is all that's happening in the house, and then she'd get stressed out. And then she wouldn't tell me about what's going on there because she thought I was too stressed out from dealing with the stuff here.
Talk to each other, that person's missing home as much as you're missing them. So they don't want to hear a bunch of dredged up garbage. They want to hear you talk to them, tell them you miss them. It's okay to say, hey, you know what, I miss you. And they'll tell you the same thing, you know what, I miss you too. Don't dwell on bad stuff, on how hard it is, and it's hard without you, and I miss you so much, I can't stand it, and I'm so depressed. You don't want to do that, because the other person does not need to be worrying about what's going on at home. Just as much as you don't, you worry about the person being deployed, but they worry about you just as much, and you don't want them worrying about you. They have more to think about while they're downrange than needing to worry about what's going on at home.
Learn to know yourself. If you are the type of guy that needs needs to know that your wife is okay, or she is the type of person that needs to know that you're okay, also work something out.
You're more open with each other. You say things to that person while they're deployed that you normally would not say. I know that just personally. That's my experience.
We came up with ideas of love journals and talking about things that we didn't know about each other. And then we finally started getting along better. It was a little difficult at first, but in the later months during her deployment, I started feeling better. She started feeling better. And that was a big thing, was the communication was breaking down. for a guy going through a deployment with his wife for the first time, I'd say listen to her, concentrate on your relationship before she leaves. Let her know that you're going to be there for her and you're going to do the best you can. Be faithful, be honest, don't hide anything.
Don't keep any secrets. That's the best advice I could give, is no matter how little you think it is,